we all know the expression coming out of the shell. What is the shell? The shell represents who we are. We are aware of who we are because we are connected and aware of our body, feelings, thoughts, and emotions. Our physical body gives us a sense of physical identity and tells us, this is me, this is you. And we know we are conscious because we have a mind that can think. As Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. Je pense, donc je suis. But here is a great truth. You are way bigger than your body, feelings, and mind. According to the Hindu philosophy, each person is made up of 5 koshas, which are 5 sheets or layers that hide actually our true self, our soul, known as Atman. These 5 layers are like layers of an onion. Our life purpose is to peel off all these layers till we discover our spiritual core, which is our true self. The 3 outer layers, physical, vital, and mental, represent our body, feelings, and our mind. Our ego is actually based on these 3 layers. That's why we feel separate from each other, we feel emptiness inside us, and we feel restless. By doing yoga and meditation, we can calm our body and mind and connect with our wisdom, which is the source of our intuition. And then we can go even deeper and access our bliss and unconditional love, which is our natural way of being. Most spiritual seekers stop there. But if you keep searching within yourself, you will eventually discover your true self, the essence of who you are, which is pure consciousness. What happens when we connect with our true self? Do we feel happy and blissful? No. We experience something greater, much greater than happiness. We experience moksha, which in Sanskrit means liberation. Indeed, we are free. Free from our 2 biggest fears, the fear of dying and the fear of separation. We realize that our body, physical body, is perishable, but there is inside us a soul that is immortal. We no longer feel lonely and separate from others because we see in others the same divine spark that also exists inside us. That's what Namaste means. It means I bow to the spirit in you that is also inside me. We are one in essence. In Hindu philosophy, we become fully conscious and alive, not when we come out of our shell, but when we go deeper, deeper, and deeper inside our shell, till we realize there is no shell. The shell is just an illusion created by our ego. 11 years ago, I decided to become the Indiana Jones of consciousness and go deeper inside my shell to find the Holy Grail, my true self. I had spent the first 35 years of my life trying not to be like the free-spirited Indiana Jones. Growing up in India as a kid, I faced a lot of adversity and emotional trauma. So I built my shell as a way to protect myself against the stress I felt at home and at school. In the late 80s, I came to study in France. Culturally, I never felt at home here. I was very depressed and lonely. So I retrenched even further inside my shell. When I was 28, I went to Yale University to do an MBA program. America being the land of the free, I hoped to finally experience freedom. Sadly, I didn't have enough money to pay for my studies at Yale, so I had to leave the MBA program at the end of the first year. But I was determined to stay in the United States. Luckily, the day before my student visa expired, I got a job as an analyst at a technology research firm in Boston. The company knew I didn't have an MBA, but still hired me because they saw my potential. For 7 years, I worked very, very hard, including weekends. I became very successful in my job. My employer and my clients loved me. Yet, deep inside me, I didn't feel right. In 2006, I had severe symptoms of burnout. I couldn't sleep, I lost a lot of weight, and my mind was very restless. All these deep feelings of inadequacy that I've had all my life were finally taking a toll on me. I went to see many Western doctors. None of them could fix me. Following an intuition, I went to a wellness center in California that offered treatments based on Ayurveda. Ayurveda is the 5,000-year-old Indian medical science that takes a holistic approach to healing and balancing your body, mind, and spirit using natural herbs and oils. I did a 2-week detox program there. It saved my life. I felt like being reborn, not just physically, but also spiritually. At the end of the treatment, I felt a very powerful force piercing through my heart. I saw the Hindu god Ganesha smiling at me with great kindness. Tears were rolling down my cheeks. I was filled with such bliss I never experienced my entire life. That's how my spiritual journey began. I started practicing yoga and mindfulness meditation. I immersed myself in spiritual studies, especially Hinduism and Buddhism. And for the past 11 years, rather than come out of my shell, I've been exploring my inner world as Indiana Jones. I know many of you are tempted to join me in this spiritual adventure. But you feel some tension, some resistance, isn't it? I know that feeling. Initially, I also resisted going inward. Why is that? Because our modern culture, especially in the West, makes us believe it's very dangerous to go explore our inner world. To use an analogy, our society gives us travel warnings that stop us from visiting our home country. I want to debunk 2 of these travel warnings. The first warning is home is a scary place. It's empty. This is a big misconception. Our ego is so attached to our body and mind that if we let go of them, we are afraid we'll be left with nothing. Like in the movie Inception, that shows our unconscious world as a chaotic place, scary place in a state of limbo where we feel very vulnerable. We believe that the core of our being is a big void, a big 0. 0 is a scary number. It implies nothingness. But in Hinduism, 0, actually in India, where 0 was invented, 0 is not emptiness, it's actually fullness. 0 is the symbol of Brahman, which is the source of all creation and the primal energy that sustains our universe. This is being proved today by science. Quantum mechanics shows that empty space is actually not empty. It's filled with powerful active energy called zero-point energy. Our physical universe is actually maintained by an invisible field of energy. You see, our home isn't scary and empty. It's actually alive and filled with infinite potential. It's the force that will be always with you. Actually, you are the force. In Hinduism, there is a famous expression which says, Aham Brahmasmi. I am infinite reality. But we tend to forget it. So we have to keep reminding ourselves, I am one with the force is with me. I am one with the force, and the force is with me. The second warning we get from society is, once you get there, you won't come back. Many people believe that they have to leave their family and friends to go live and meditate in the Himalayas. But you don't have to go somewhere like the Himalayas to find your true self. Spirituality is not reaching for heaven, but finding a haven within us. You can find your spiritual home without leaving your physical home if you're willing to commit time and energy to explore your inner world. And once you connect with your spiritual core, you will joyfully engage in worldly life, but without getting entangled in it. Now, I can't offer you a fixed method to find your true self, because each one of you is unique and different. You have to find your own path. But based on my experience, let me give you 2 pieces of advice, let's say 2 travel tips, that will make your inner journey safe and pleasant. Tip number 1, experiment first, but then establish a regular practice called sadhana in Sanskrit. When I began my spiritual journey, I tried out different yoga and meditation techniques. This is called spiritual shopping. You can do spiritual shopping for a year or 2, but then you need to settle on one technique and just keep doing it. I would like to suggest that you set up a sadhana, a daily spiritual practice that includes 3 major components. Yoga to stabilize your body, a breathing technique like pranayama, such as alternate nostril breathing, or tai chi or qigong to balance your vital energy. And then meditation, like mindfulness meditation, to still your mind. Once you stabilize, balance, and still your body, energy, mind, it will be easier to go deeper inside yourself. Second tip, embrace your shadow to become whole. The koshas are like an onion, and when we peel an onion, we cry. The more yoga and meditation you do, you will be peeling off the first 3 layers of your being. It means that you'll be reconnecting deeply with your body, your feelings, and your mind. When you do that, a lot of repressed memories, subconscious thoughts, and emotions will come out. It will be very uncomfortable and even painful. You need to be kind and compassionate to yourself. This is part of the healing process. Find a spiritual coach, a psychotherapist, or an energy healer who can help you process and integrate these painful memories and emotions. I was blessed to have amazing healers and spiritual coaches who helped me integrate my shadow to become whole. My greatest wish is that all of you will become the spiritual Indiana Jones and go explore the depths of your consciousness. Finding our true self is a challenging journey, but it's a lot of fun and very rewarding. It will transform your life forever. Namaste.